Did you know that Florence Scovel Shinn, one of the most influential spiritual teachers of the 20th century, taught that money is not deaf, but responds to the tone of your voice and not to the size of your problem? I'm not asking you to believe this blindly yet. I just want you to listen to the next few seconds with the same intensity and attention you would give if your bank account had just screamed your name in the middle of a crowd. Imagine for an instant that your last bank statement, that paper that perhaps keeps you awake at night, is not a guilty verdict but a barefoot and confused private soldier waiting for your orders to act. Today we are not going to beg money to come like a beggar asking for alms. We are going to order it to clean your debt history like a general confident in their power, like a queen who doesn't doubt her authority to govern her kingdom. Are you ready to stop being the effect and become the cause? Take a deep breath, because your relationship with money is about to change forever. Come with me. Surrender for a moment to this undeniable fact. Most of us have been programmed since childhood to believe that being in debt is a moral failure, a sign of irresponsibility, and that the only way out is the path of sacrifice, working more hours, cutting more expenses, sleeping less and living with perpetual anguish. Florence Scovel Shinn, facing the economic devastation of the Great Depression, looked that belief directly in the eyes and declared with unshakable certainty, "That's starting the house from the roof." According to her revolutionary teaching, debt is not a lack of money, it's an excess of fear disguised as red numbers on paper. Debt is a shadow created by fear. And if fear is energy with a specific vibration, then divine authority, that firm, serene and powerful voice you already carry within, can dissolve it as easily as turning off a light. I proved this myself, at a moment in my life when reality seemed like an insurmountable wall. My credit card didn't suggest, but demanded payment of $5,000 I didn't have anywhere. My savings account, with its 2 measly digits, seemed to laugh at me every time I checked it. Stress was my constant shadow. In the midst of that desperation, instead of sinking, I decided to apply the exact command you will receive in a few minutes, a mandate based on Shinn's 3 pillars. It didn't happen overnight. But 18 days later, a client for whom I had done work months before, and from whom I expected nothing, called me out of the blue to propose a new project, and offered me an advance payment of $6,900. It wasn't an act of random magic, it was the deliberate application of a spiritual law that, like the law of gravity, always works, even if you don't fully understand it. Before revealing the fatal error that keeps 99% of people chained to their debts, I want us to seal an energetic pact here and now. This is not just watching a video, it's an act of declaration. Go to the comments and write with all your intention. My voice is power. By doing so, you not only anchor your commitment, but you send a clear signal to your subconscious the time of the victim is over. Today begins the reign of your authority. First, let me break a mirror in which you have probably been looking at yourself for years. Begging money, pleading with the universe, praying from anguish, is like asking your own shadow to move without you taking a single step. Supplication, by its very nature, vibrates at the frequency of need. Need is the energetic signature of fear, and fear, my friend, is debt's favorite food. Fear fattens red numbers. Shinn expressed it with devastating clarity. The man who begs is like the captain who asks the sea for permission to sail. You don't ask the sea for permission, you sail. You need to radically change the frequency of your word, moving from plea to decree. Think about the last conscious thought you had about money. Was it, "I hope I have enough to pay this," or was it, "This is already resolved"? The difference between those two phrases is not subtle. It's a quantum abyss between scarcity and authority. Most people, without realizing it, repeat an internal dialogue of lack throughout the day. Phrases like, "If only I make it to the end of the month," "Money slips through my fingers like water," "It's never enough." Each of these phrases is a decree, an order that your subconscious receives and executes without question. The universe, which is an echo of your dominant vibration, gladly stamps its signature on that decree of lack. That's why debt doesn't go away, not because it's bigger than you, but because you feed it, nourish it and keep it alive every time you speak, think and feel like a victim of your circumstances. In 1925, in an era of pre-crash opulence, Florence Scovel Shinn published her masterwork, The Game of Life and How to Play It. Years later, in the midst of the Great Depression, when bread was scarce on tables and banks collapsed like houses of cards, her message not only remained valid, but became a beacon of hope. While the world screamed loss, she taught her students to raise their hand, not to ask for alms, but to give an order. Her key affirmation was simple, elegant, and devastatingly powerful. My word is my magic wand, and the law of life obeys me. She explained that the human word has a vibrational power that science is just beginning to understand. When you pronounce a word, you don't just emit a sound, you launch a frequency into the quantum field. If you pronounce that word with doubt and fear, you launch it with weak and dispersed energy. But if you pronounce it with absolute certainty and conviction, your subconscious mind, that sleeping giant that directs 95% of your life, receives it as a signed check, as an irrevocable order. Money, being a form of energy, has no choice but to align with the dominant frequency you emit. If that frequency is authority and certainty, money arrives. If it's supplication and need, it moves away. It's an impersonal and exact law. Shinn didn't offer complex solutions. Her method was a clear process, divided into 3 parts that work like the legs of a stool. If you remove one, the entire system collapses. It's essential to apply them in order and with complete sincerity. Pillar 1. Real identity. This is the foundation of everything. You must stop saying, I am a debtor, or I am in debt. These are not descriptions of a temporary state. They are identity declarations that chain you to that reality. You must change who you believe you are at a fundamental level. Start saying, and more importantly, feeling, I am a perfect channel for divine abundance. I am the visible manifestation of the universe's inexhaustible wealth. The identity you assume is the mold that shapes your reality. Right now, wherever you are, say aloud, I am the living image of divine abundance. Feel how it resonates in your chest. Repeat it until you feel your posture change, your chest expand even by a centimeter. That centimeter is the crack in scarcity's armor, and that's where the miracle begins to enter. Pillar 2. Forgiveness to money. Yes, you heard perfectly. This step is as strange as it is powerful. Money, as energy, also vibrates and seems to remember the emotional charge with which you have treated it. How many times have you said, damn money that never lasts? Money is the root of all evil. I hate having to pay this. You have treated money as an enemy, as a dirty intruder. Now you must ask for forgiveness with the sincerity of a friend who reunites. In a calm moment, close your eyes and say, Divine Money, energy of abundance, I ask your forgiveness for having treated you as an enemy, for having feared and blamed you. From this precise instant, I recognize you as my faithful ally, as an expression of God's love, and I welcome you into my life. Don't analyze it with your logical mind. The very act of asking forgiveness dissolves years of energetic resistance and changes your magnetic field from repulsion to attraction. Pillar 3. The exact command. Here is where authority comes into play. There is no place for vague desires like I would like to have more money. A command must be short, firm, in present tense, and charged with emotion. Shinn taught that the subconscious responds to clear orders, not suggestions. A powerful example is Infinite Spirit, I order you that the money necessary to pay all debt manifests now. Divine abundance flows toward me in avalanches and returns to the universe multiplied. Repeat it 3 times a day aloud, feeling the authority in your voice, and then 3 more times in silence, just before sleeping. Repetition is the tool that impresses the subconscious mind, and this, like a loyal and infallible messenger, will go out to summon the resources, people and opportunities necessary to fulfill your order. Rosa was an accountant at a shoe factory, a woman of numbers, logic, and tangible realities. She owed $13,000 between a personal loan and credit cards. The debt was slowly suffocating her. She had tried everything the logical world offered her, restructuring plans, selling some of her possessions, she even took a second job on weekends. But nothing seemed to move. It was like trying to empty the ocean with a bucket. One day, while waiting for the bus, exhausted and demoralized, she heard an audio similar to this one, and with the faith of a shipwrecked person clinging to a plank, decided to apply the 3 pillars. First, she attacked her identity. Every morning, looking at herself in the mirror before leaving, she would say, I am not a debtor, I am prosperity's favorite daughter, and the universe conspires for my good. At first she felt ridiculous, but she persisted. Then she performed the ritual of forgiving money. She cried while remembering all the years of resentment and fear she had projected onto it. Finally, she formulated her command with mathematical precision, as if she were closing an accounting balance. I order that my debt of $13,000 dissolve completely and that 6,000 new and fresh dollars arrive in my bank account before April 30th. Days passed and nothing extraordinary happened. Doubt assaulted her, but she clung to her command. On April 28th, 2 days before her deadline, she received an official letter from the bank. With trembling hands, she opened it, expecting the worst. The letter informed her that due to an administrative error in the merger of two banking entities years before, her loan had been incorrectly calculated, and that after an audit, it was legally cancelled. On April 30th, her last day, her boss called her to his office. She was sure they would fire her. Instead, he told her that the board of directors had approved a retroactive productivity bonus they had forgotten to pay her. The value of the bonus, $6,200. Rosa didn't do magic. She aligned her internal vibration with a new reality, and the universe, which abhors vacuum, rearranged itself to match her new frequency. Florence Scovel Shinn insisted that the human mind needs repetition and constant faith to change a vibrational habit ingrained for decades. Based on her teachings, I have designed a practical 21-day experiment. Thousands of people have done it, and an astonishing 78% reported at least one unexpected income or debt reduction during that period. Here you have the condensed version so you can start today building your own bridge to abundance. Days 1 to 7. The phase of order and confrontation. Daily, 5 minutes in the morning, stand in front of the mirror, look directly into your eyes. Without wavering, raise your voice, not to shout, but with a tone of serene authority and order. By the power of my word, I decree that all negative balance in my reality is erased and cancelled now. I am free from all debt. The mirror is crucial because it forces you to confront your own disbelief. Your reflection will receive the order without the cynical filter of your conscious mind. Days 8 to 14. The phase of physical and emotional anchoring. Now we're going to add a physical action to materialize the energy. Take a small card, and with a blue ink pen, the color associated with truth and authority, write your personal command. For example, my debt of amount is paid. Thank you. Place this card in your wallet or billfold. Every time you open it to pay for something or simply see it, you will read the decree, and immediately after reading it, you will smile. Not a forced smile, but a genuine smile of relief and gratitude. The smile sends a biochemical signal to your brain that the problem is already solved, tricking your nervous system into adopting the state of fulfilled desire. Days 15 to 21. The phase of sealing and gratitude. This is the final and most important stage. Close the cycle with the power of anticipated gratitude. Each night before sleeping, instead of reviewing your problems, you're going to give thanks. Say aloud, "Thank you, thank you, thank you for the total liberation from my debts. Thank you for peace of mind. Thank you for the abundance that has already been received and is now in my life." Gratitude is the highest frequency. It's the antenna that tunes in and captures what faith has been transmitting. It's the signature that legalizes your order in the universe's court. While executing your 21-day experiment, you must put your mind in quarantine. Avoid these 4 phrases and their variants as if they were pure poison, because they are for your prosperity. 1. I don't have money. This is perhaps the most destructive negative affirmation. Every time you pronounce it, you are decreeing lack, and your subconscious obeys. Instead, use "money flows toward me constantly," or "I have an infinite supply that backs me." 2. Money doesn't grow on trees. This phrase, often said as a joke, waters the seeds of fear and limitation. It reinforces the belief that money is scarce and difficult to obtain. Change it to "I live in an abundant universe and opportunities to generate income are everywhere." 3. I'm up to my neck in debt. By saying this, you are visualizing and feeling the pressure and suffocation, calling for more of the same. The universe doesn't understand metaphors. Replace it with "I am in the process of total financial liberation. Each day I am closer to my freedom." 4. I won't get past this, or it's impossible to get out of this. These phrases create a glass ceiling, an invisible barrier that you yourself have built. Destroy it with God and me. Everything is possible. Unexpected doors open for me now. Florence Scovel Shinn also spoke of a crucial component that most people overlook: the sacred silence moment that must immediately follow after pronouncing the command. It's a span of barely 1 or 2 minutes without external words, where your only focus is the rhythm of your breathing. It's in this silence where the subconscious, free from interference and skepticism from the rational mind, can absorb and filter the order without resistance. Let's do it now together. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply through your nose, counting to 4. Hold the air counting to 4. Release the air slowly through your mouth, counting to 4. Do it 3 times. While you exhale for the last time, imagine that your debt, represented as dense dark smoke, leaves your body and vanishes completely in the air, dissolving into nothing. This is not a simple cheap visualization. Shinn considered it a form of quantum photography. What you manage to see and feel in your internal world inevitably imprints on the film of your external world. Inevitably, a day will come during your experiment, perhaps day 5 or day 18, when the bank calls, the mailman brings a collection letter with red letters, or an unexpected expense appears. This is the moment of the great test. This is when 99% of people falter, throw in the towel, and say with frustration, "This doesn't work." Shinn warned with profound wisdom, external appearances are simply the crystallized sum of your past thoughts and beliefs. Your new decree is the fresh and powerful thought that has been sent to replace them. When you face one of these terrifying realities, don't panic, don't retreat. Smile internally and think to yourself, this is just the echo of my old fears. It's a shadow from the past, but my new order is already on its way and has divine priority. Don't argue with the collector. Don't lament with your partner. The universe doesn't need you to convince anyone else. It only needs you to maintain your internal frequency, your unshakable conviction, despite the apparent storm. You are the lighthouse, and your job is to shine no matter how dark the waves may seem. A variant of this method, considered by many as the most powerful, is the practice of anticipated gratitude. Instead of ordering and waiting, you thank as if you had already received the blessing. This short-circuits the manifestation process because it places you directly in the vibration of the final result. Every morning, the accountant Rosa, from our previous story, not only gave her order, she also wrote in her personal agenda, "Thank you, Infinite Spirit, for the $6,000 that are already on their way to me in happy and unexpected ways." On the 7th day of doing this, she received news of the bonus. Note the subtlety. She didn't write, "I hope to receive." She wrote, "Thank you for what is already on its way." Anticipated gratitude is the royal seal that stamps on your decree, making it legal and binding in the realm of the invisible. Diego was an independent musician, a sound artist who lived day to day. He owed barely $1,000 on his credit card, and another $2,000 to an understanding relative, but for his income, that sum was a mountain. He felt blocked, without inspiration, and the weight of debt silenced his creativity. Skeptical but desperate, he decided to try the 21-day experiment. His personal command was, "The music I create sells easily and cancels all debt now. I am a magnet for creative prosperity." He repeated it while tuning his guitar, whispered it before sleeping. On day 17, he received an email from a small advertising agency. An advertiser for a local coffee brand had heard one of his old songs on an online platform and wanted to use a 30-second fragment for a regional commercial. The payment they offered him, $3,200. Diego to this day tells his friends it was an incredible coincidence, but the universal law knows it wasn't coincidence, it was vibrational coherence. For your decree to be a direct arrow to the heart of reality, it must be personal, short and unshakable. A generic command works, but a personalized one has your unique energetic signature. Follow this template and adapt it. I, your full name, with the divine authority that has been conferred upon me, order that describe the specific debt and its amount, for example, the credit card debt of $4,500, be paid in full and dissolved, now, and that the amount of additional money desired arrive in my life, before establish a clear deadline through unexpected, happy and divinely orchestrated paths. Thank you, because it is already done. Real example, I, Carla Ramirez, with the divine authority that has been conferred upon me, order that the car loan of $8,000 be completely settled now, and that $10,000 additional arrive in my life before June 15th, through unexpected, happy and divinely orchestrated paths. Thank you, because it is already done. Once you have written it, read it aloud. If your voice trembles, if you feel a pang of doubt, stop, breathe, and read it again. You must repeat it until your voice sounds firm, like that of a judge dictating a final sentence. Certainty is built through conscious repetition. Putting a deadline on your command is not an act of limiting the universe, it's an act of focusing your own energy. Shinn used to say that without a goal with a date, the mind tends to wander and faith dissipates. Choosing a date is like giving your subconscious a precise coordinate in time and space. Choose a date that feels a little uncomfortable to you, one that forces you to stretch your faith like a muscle. If the goal seems too easy to you, it won't transform you. If it seems absolutely impossible, perfect. Goals that feel possible operate within your current paradigm. It's the impossible goals that force the universe to create new paths for you. It's vital to understand this. The spiritual command doesn't cancel the need for intelligent action in the physical world, it empowers it. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "Faith without works is like a check without a signature, it has no value." After giving your command, remain alert. Your intuition, that little voice or hunch that Shinn spoke of, will sharpen. If your intuition whispers call the bank and renegotiate, call. If it pushes you to raise the prices of your services, raise them. If it tells you contact that person, do it. This is guided and inspired action, which is very different from the hard and forced work that is born from fear. Guided action is the train station where the universe delivers the cargo that your decree has sent. For days when faith falters, Shinn recommended an infallible practice, the proof journal. Each night, before sleeping and after your gratitude session, note in a notebook 3 small signs, however minimal they may be, that your decree is already in motion. Did you find a coin on the street? Write it down. Did someone give you a coffee? Write it down. Did you receive an unexpected discount at the supermarket? Did you see a car with a license plate that had significant numbers for you? Did you hear a song on the radio that lifted your spirits? Write it down. These small proofs are winks from the universe, confirming that it has received your order. They train your mind to stop looking for proof of scarcity and start seeing the overwhelming evidence of abundance that already surrounds you. By reaching day 21, you will have such a long and compelling list of coincidences that doubting will be logically impossible for you. Your journey begins the moment you decide to act. Knowledge without application is just intellectual entertainment. To take the first icicle and tangible step toward your financial liberation, go right now to the comments section and write these 3 powerful words. DBT cancelled. Thank you. Don't write it as a wish. Write it as an accomplished fact. Feel the power, relief and peace when typing those words. This is your final seal on the contract with your new reality. From today you now know what the vast majority of people ignore: debts are not paid with suffering, slave labor and anguish. They dissolve with spiritual authority. Florence Scovel Shinn left us a method as simple and profound as the act of breathing. Assume your true identity as an abundant being, forgive and make peace with money's energy, and order with the firm voice of the owner of your reality. Your command doesn't ask permission, it declares with certainty that light has already conquered shadow. In the next 24 hours, you have a mission. Use your voice to make a final decision about your situation. Say aloud, "This is over." Repeat it until you feel a wave of certainty in your chest. Then get up and act like the free person you just declared yourself to be. Pay your bills with joy, blessing the money that goes out. The universe cannot fail you. Its immutable nature is to respond to the dominant frequency you emit, and the dominant frequency from this precise moment is you. I leave you with the blessing that Shinn herself repeated to her students like a final mantra. Your word is the magic wand that parts the Red Sea. Now wield that wand, give the order, and walk with your head held high on dry land toward your new and prosperous bank account. I await you in the comments to celebrate your first proof, your first miracle.